What is up, everyone? Today we got the semi-finals of the YouTuber PvP Championship, in which I will be facing off against the one and only Ryan Swag, also known as Swagtips, or the Swagman, or the Dene's dad. This man goes by a lot of names, whatever you want to call him. We're fighting him today, and if I win this best of 5, I'll move on to the finals, where I'll be facing off against Jonkus or Dan Ottawa, depending on who wins that head-to-head. Anyway, let's take a look at his team before we get started with these battles. Ryan is running a team with Steelix, Deoxys, Greedent, Gramble, Talonflame, Dugong, Skuntank, and Serperior. On first look, I'm extremely worried about this squad, mainly about the Dugong. I do have good counters for it in Hitmonchan, Ferrothorn, and Magnezone. But the problem is these 3 can all get hard countered. Hitmonchan just gets destroyed by Deoxys. Talonflame isn't great either, though I will be rolling Thunder Punch, which does give me some play against that Talonflame. Magnezone gets absolutely obliterated by the Steelix. Talonflame is not great, but I can win it as shields are down. But it's just so squishy, and Ryan has quite a bit of bulk on his team, so that could be a bit of a problem. And then Ferrothorn, of course, gets obliterated by that Talonflame. So especially this Talonflame, Deoxys, Dugong trio seems pretty rough for my squad. Politoed is pretty neutral against that, which is why you see me lead it in this first game. I'm running it with Earthquake, which gives it a good matchup versus Talonflame, and then because of the Earthquake, I can beat the Dugong as well, though if this thing keeps icy winding and shooting my Earthquakes, Dugong can actually win out that matchup, even though it's only throwing resisted moves. It's just, Dugong is that crazy. Anyway, let's just head into these games, see what I do this first game. I lead Politoed. Of course, I'm very weak against Grass, like Serperior, so I have 2 answers in the back. Also, I kind of suck against Deoxys with Politoed. It's because Deoxys is just that much more tanky, and his moves just do more, especially if he's running Thunderbolt. So I'm running Manabuzz in the back for Deoxys too. Also, Charizard doesn't do too bad versus Deoxys, because if I keep shields, I can just resist the counters and shoot up a charge moves and do a lot of damage with my Fire Spins and Dragon Claws. Anyway, Green wasn't a great lead, so bringing the Zard, in comes Skuntank. I can double Dragon Claw this. Luckily, I take a shield there. I'm hoping to take another shield there, because I'd ideally want shields down, but no. Good thing is, he led a Greedent, alright? He led a Greedent, which means there's likely not a Dugong in the back, because that will be hilariously weak to like a Hitmonchan lead, especially since he didn't even have a proper Hitmonchan answer in the middle. Like, let's say I brought my Hitmonchan in the lead, he would have been in real trouble. So at this point, I'm actually feeling pretty good, because I'm not expecting the Dugong in the back. And then Manabuzz probably gonna sweep, because I expect probably Deoxys or Talonflame. Either one would make sense with Greedent in the lead, I think. Just gonna Weather Ball this, chip it a little bit, put it in a range where I can kill with Foul Play. What did I say about no Dugong? He brought the Dugong. He made a really good call. He wasn't expecting the Hitmonchan, so he brought pretty weak to it in his team, which honestly makes sense. Hitmonchan is very risky for me since the Deoxys is so good for him. It's so good for him. I mean, I do have a hard counter to Deoxys in Trevenant, but with Skuntank, with Greedent, and with Dugong on Ryan Swag's team, and also Talonflame, there's no way I'm ever bringing Trevenant. It's just hard. It just loses so hard to so many Pokemon. And I'm glad I didn't in this first game, because he brought the Greedent and the Skuntank and the Dugong. It would have had no play. So, you know, there's no way I'm bringing that. Which makes this Deoxys super strong, so I can't bring my Hitmonchan. Since he built so weak to Hitmonchan, I'm kind of expecting him to expect me to bring Hitmonchan now. So, what I do is I lead Manabuzz, expecting the anti-Hitmonchan lead in Deoxys. Well, you can already see it, that didn't happen. It's a Dugong. That's really bad. I bring in Politoed, in comes a Skuntank, and this is actually really good for me. I can probably take Switchback here. I do have Magnezone in the back. Really good Dugong answer. Also very good against his previous team. If he decides to bring that again with the Greedent in the back, Magnezone is actually good against all 3. So if it is the Greedent again, I'm looking pretty good, especially since I can likely take Switch Advantage back here. If I can get Switch Advantage, I will definitely take that. He double shields my Weather Ball baits, and I can go for the Earthquake now. Do lose CMP though, that's kind of unfortunate. But fine, just shoot up his Crunch, throw the Earthquake, get rid of the Skuntank. This is all good. He got 2 defense drops there, which honestly, very fine with me, because now whatever comes in gets less farm. So That's good with me. In comes the Deoxys. It only gets like 5 counters, and I get a Weather Ball still, so this is actually beautiful. Those defense drops actually came in clutch for me, which is good. Thank you very much. Of course, I bring in Mandy here. In comes Dugong, and at this point, I've just won the game. I think he should have really gone in Deoxys versus my Politoed, because that's a way more solid matchup. Then I would have probably still won, though, because Magnezone can just sweep up Skuntank and Dugong at that point. I let this Dugong throw another move, because I don't want the Deoxys to get too much farm. Because Rock Slides on Manibus still add up. If I get hit by 3, I do die. So I'd rather just take more damage here, be able to throw 1 Wild Charge into the Deoxys, which puts it into foul play range. And now I don't have to worry about the Deoxys taking out my my Manibus at all. I don't think it was necessary though. This thing would have never reached 2 moves or 3 moves versus Manibus, but it's just you know, securing the win even more, which, you know, is fine. Throw the foul play, and that is a win for me. And we tie up the score. Game 3, I play a little risky. I bring the Hitmonchan this time because he's clearly not really bringing counters that much. And if he leads Deoxys, I do have a Nidoqueen in the back, which I will switch in if I have to. But it ends up being a really good lead with Dugong. He brings in the Deoxys. This is awesome because I can just bring in my counter to it right now in the Manibus. I don't love this though, because what's gonna happen is I will kill this Deoxys now, and the Dugong will get a lot of farm. There was a moment in this fight where I was thinking maybe I should let myself get hit by another Rock Slide, but then he could have shielded up my foul play and farmed me down, and I can't lose switch, because with Nidoqueen in the back, that's not great. That is not great. So yeah, I just let this Dugong. I have to let this Dugong farm me down now, but I will get to 2 more foul plays, so that's really good. That's really good. Or I'll get to 2 foul plays. And this will do some good chip damage, put it in a range where I can counter down, hopefully. Can't switch out, just let myself get farmed down. This thing has a lot of energy now, like 2 Icy Winds. So what I do is I shield up here. Actually, does he even have that much? I mean, I shield up just in case he wants to go be cheeky and throw a Blizzard, but honestly, I kind of forgot to count. Well, he could have had Blizzard. No, he had 90 energy. This could have been a Blizzard. So shield up the first, just in case it's a Blizzard. But no, it's double Icy Wind. Fine, I would have shielded one of those anyway. And in comes a Greedent now. So yeah, I built super weak to the Hitmonchan again. And luckily, I let it into the Dugong. And this is looking pretty good for me right now. I can Poison Fang this thing a couple times with my Nidoqueen. The only problem is, though, these won't kill. And if he gets enough energy here to double Body Slam my Hitmonchan, I am dead. So this is not quite over. This is definitely not quite over. Throw Poison Fang here. I do have moves stored up, actually. Yeah, actually, I do have moves stored up. So even if they have double Body Slam here, that's fine. Because I can just Thunder Punch this and take out the Greedent. And that is another win for me. GG. Next game, I lead the Hitmonchan again. This time into the Skuntank. This is okay for me. I will stay in here. Just go for the Thunder Punch and Ryan Swag. Like many of you, underestimates the Hitmonchan, and the Skuntank can't even get to the crunch before a Thunder Punch and counter it down. Yeah, I've seen the comments. A lot of you are wondering why I didn't pick a better fighter than Hitmonchan. And well, the reason is there isn't a better fighter than Hitmonchan. It is the best. I love it. It's honestly every single draft I've done, or almost every single draft I've ever done, I've picked Hitmonchan. And it's always one of my MVPs, because the moveset is just so flexible and people just underestimate it. It's so good. If you're ever doing a draft, I recommend it. Anyway, Politoed comes in. Oh, we get a little lag. I think this was mutual though. Yeah, he got 1 Incinerate. I got 2 mutuals. This was so fine. Since he Brave Bird buffed himself here, this Weather Ball would definitely knock out, so it has to shield. I'm going to shield this up, expecting another Brave Bird. But no, actually baits with the Flame Charge. Super interesting. In comes the Greedent. This is super fine for Manibus. I honestly was kind of worried it was going to be Dugong in the back, which is the reason I shielded my Politoed twice right there, because I need that health to kill the Dugong. I was also initially thinking about bringing in my Manibus versus the Talonflame, but like then I might have been in trouble, because Politoed versus Greedent is not amazing for Politoed. And my Manibus might have been taken out by the Talonflame. So I'm glad I decided to go with this route. Even if it was Dugong, my Politoed would have had enough health to take it low enough to where Manabus would probably be able to finish it. Anyway, this is looking pretty fine for Mandy at this point. He needs 2 more body slams to kill me, so I'm just gonna farm up a bunch here. Throw right before the body slam after this, and then I should be fine. In comes the Talonflame though. I bring in Politoed. He throws a move. Apparently he had a Brave Bird here, but he missed-tapped the Flame Charge. I don't think the Brave Bird would have knocked out though, so I would have been fine here. And even if the Brave Bird knocked out, I'm 1 snarl away from 2 foul plays, so I think I would have been fine. But yeah, we take out the Talonflame. We take out the Greedent. And it's a GG. We've gathered the 3 points we need to win. We actually make it into the finals. But we will still play 1 more game because we always just finish or set of 5. Let's see how this final one goes. Manabus into DD, a really good lead for me. I bring a bit of a weird backline with Ferrothorn and Magnezone. Because, I don't know, I just wanted to bring out the double steal. Just for fun. I think it can work. He hasn't bring the Steelix. So if I had a bad lead there, I would have switched in Magnezone. Because even versus like Deoxys, that thing has some play. So kind of a weird AEB line. And it ends up working because I had a good lead. And he brings in Dugong. And a Ferrothorn is pretty good here. So I'm fine with this. Honestly, I think I should have brought in Magnezone here. Just because it's a better like Dugong answer. The thing is though, I was very worried about the Talonflame in the back. Again, he hasn't brought this yet, but I feel like the Dugong Deoxys Talonflame core for him is super strong. So I wanted to save my Magnezone just in case it was a Talonflame in the back. Because if it is a Talonflame in the back, I don't want my Ferrothorn on it. He does end up getting switch here, but he had to spend 2 shields, so this is super fine with me. The Deoxys comes in. I'm just gonna wild charge this. This does a lot of damage. I could have switched out. I mean, my attack is dropped, so maybe it would have been worth switching out. But I think this is cool. This is good too, because I bring it into foul play range anyway. And it's also in the range of a non-debuffed wild charge later, so it doesn't really matter that I didn't clear the debuff. And this gives me a good opportunity to farm down this Granbull later, which obviously this Granbull isn't great for my Manabus. But I get off 2 Aerial Aces here. This puts it in a range where I can probably farm down with the zone. Or get to the... Oh, if I would have gone to the Aerials there, that might have been even better. Just gonna shoot this up. Probably a crunch. Hopefully, my defense doesn't get dropped. It doesn't. That's good. I don't think it matters, though, because I get to the wild charge. Either way, I'm gonna throw it as late as possible, though. Just in case I need this little bit of extra spark damage for this to knock out. I think it was necessary. But it's a safe play. I killed the Deoxys, and it's a GG. We take our match versus Ryan Swag 4-1. And like I said, we reached the finals. Next week, I will be facing off against Dan Ottawa or Jonkus. Whoever wins that head-to-head. When uploading this video, that has probably already happened. I'll put the video to Jonkus' and Dan Ottawa's video on their match down below, so you can see who will face me. Anyway, if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you want to see Ryan Swag's side of the battles, I'll put his link in the description as well. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.